All right, thank you for joining me. Today, I'm just going to be discussing about 10 mistakes I see a lot of people are making in their business. And this sort of mistakes, it keeps people stuck, it keeps them grounded, and they can't move forward in their business. And the reason why I've decided to talk on this topic is because a lot of people have desires to create a business of purpose. They want to do something great. They want to work for themselves. They want to generate their own income. They don't want to be stuck in a 9 to 5 job anymore. They want to be able to have time to spend with their family, have time to do the things they love, to bring up their children in a way that they can leave something worthwhile for those children. But there's a thing that the sort of things that we see around us, the sort of examples we've seen people do, has enabled us to not get certain things right. Because when you see other people going in that same path, you tend to also walk in that same path. And some of us have already made certain mistakes whilst running our businesses, and it's allowed us to take time to look back, to review, to see where things have gone wrong, some things that we wish we didn't do. And that has enabled me to be able to come up with, then there's so many things, so many mistakes that I've been able to to draft. But I said, you know what, let's take this step by step. I start with 10, and I give you some of the things and some of ways that you can overcome this. So if I start with number 1, a lot of us are waiting for things to be perfect before we actually move forward in our business. One thing I want us to know is nothing is perfect. Even when you start your business, even when things are going well, you will always look for other things that you want to do. There are going to be always things that you can do. There are always going to be things that you want to do. So as you go further in your business, you will find out that perfection is just a myth. There is no way you can get anything perfect, because when you start, as you build on the foundation of whatever you start, the trouble is this perfection keeps people stuck in one location. They are grounded, and they can't take any move, they can't take any step, because they want, okay, yes, until I have this amount of money before I can move forward, until I get the perfect location for my business before I can set up, until I find the right people to help me build my website, then I can launch out. And this is detrimental to your business, because you will always find things you want to improve. That much I know. You will always find things you want to work on. You will always find things that you can always add to as you go along. And therefore, what you started with thinking it was perfect, 2 years down the line, you find out you still have to add on to it. 5 years down the line, you see that there are more things coming into the market, more areas, that you need to work on. And therefore, waiting for things to be perfect is a way that will keep you not moving in the direction that you actually need to go. The second thing that I want to talk about is not utilizing the right tools and the right strategy in order to be able to bring yourself out there. What do I mean by this? There's so many people that say, I don't know how to use the internet, I don't know how to use Facebook, I don't know how to use Instagram. In this age and time that we are now, using this social media, using the internet, using online is the only good thing that you can do for yourself. If we take an instance of what has happened recently with COVID-19, some of the businesses that we had to close down, we had to shut down. But thank God, we run a local post office which had to stay open. Imagine if we did not have a post office that was making us income. Imagine if we had to shut all our businesses and there was nothing coming in from an online side of business. I don't know how we would have been able to cope. Hence why at this time that we are moving forward from now, it just is an eye opener for me to also see how do I take some of the businesses that we have, like our estate agent, like our financial services, and the post office? How do we move certain services online? You know, you have to make use. There's no more telling yourself, I cannot use the internet, I cannot use Facebook, I cannot use Instagram, I don't know how. This is the time to learn. This is the time to begin to find new ways of putting yourself out there, using the right tools, using the right strategy, in order to be able to make sure that you are doing the best for your business. There's no more excuses. Not utilizing social media, for not utilizing the online space, in order to be able to make sure that you're putting your business out there. Because if you're just a local store, you're just a local business, you just started your side hustle, how would people know? People that don't know, that means you're only restricted to the people that know you. You're only restricted to the ones that you can tell. But the online is there to be able to, be a loudspeaker, be the megaphone for your business, because there's so much you can tell people by yourself. But when you put yourself out there, when you have an online space of an online part of your business, that enables you to be able to reach a larger audience, a larger market. You have to have a way to make sure that you're getting something from this online boom. Number 3 is you're not knowing where your sales are coming from. I need to know where my sales are coming from, and in order for me to know where my sales are coming from, that means I'm tracking it. I need to know that on so day I made sales. How did I get those sales? Who introduced this person to me? And in order for me to make sure I'm multiplying those sales, is because I'm keeping track of how I got that sale. You have, as a business owner, you've got to have a spreadsheet that is keeping track of everything. You need to know, when was the last sale, when is the next sale coming, and how can you speed up the time from the last sale to the next sale? Because if you do not know where your sales are coming from, there's no way you can multiply that channel. I'm going to give an instance. When we started with the property management side of things, and we would tell people we had a storefront, and then people would come in, but we only relied on the people that were coming in order to make sales, because we believed once we have a shop, we have things that is telling people outside to say, yes, we are an estate agent, and people walking. But we noticed that just doing that alone, we were not generating the sort of sales that we needed to stay afloat or to keep the business running. And therefore we had to step out of the usual. We had to make sure that we left our offices. We had to go around distributing flyers. And when people come in, we ask them, how did you get to know about us? When people call us on the phone, we ask them, how did you get to know about us? And we do that because once we know how those people got to know about us, then we can also amplify that channel. We can find out more about how to utilize that channel. If they said they found us on Google, then we go to Google and see, how did they find us? Because there are ways that we can track these things online. If it was through somebody, and then we do referral. If you refer a person, we give you this. If you refer someone, we give you this. And that's the way, because we are tracking, because we are checking. That's the way you know where your sales are coming from, and you can multiply that channel. Some of the things that also keep people stuck is the fear of what will people say, how will people react, especially the people that are close to us. They are the ones that tend to not quickly grasp on that we are in business, and therefore a lot of people tend to hide these things. I'm going to give an instance of my niece when she started a weight trainer business, and until she launched out, until those weight trainers were already on sale, we, the family members, we didn't actually know, because she, the question people will ask, the way they will look at you, the way they will assess you, because we are used to you, because we are close to you, and therefore we don't tend to see certain sides of you. We don't tend to see certain part of you, and therefore you tend to keep that part away as well, because we're not used to seeing that part. I remember when we started our estate agent business, we knew people around us. We knew people that they have properties that they can give to us to manage for them, but sitting right next to us, they are calling someone else to manage the property for them. That is because they cannot just comprehend, they cannot fathom or understand what your level of expertise is, because they are used to seeing you, and therefore you tend to hide that part away as well. So a lot of us, we now begin to hide under the fact that, well, they don't know I do this business, and the less they know about me, the better. And this doesn't help us. The more we shout, about what we are doing, the more we announce it, the more we tell people, especially the ones around us. And we need to prove ourselves to them as well. We need to make sure that we stand, and they're able to see that what we say we do, we are actually experts in it. We need them to believe in us. And once they believe in us, once they trust in us, definitely they will begin to gradually understand that this is what we do, gradually come to terms with it, and gradually begin to tell other people about it. Because it is easier for the people that know us, for the people that are close to us, to tell their own immediate friends and family about us than it is for you to reach out to someone that doesn't know you at all, doesn't know your capability, for them to announce about you or your business to their friends and family. So we need to be able to overcome that stage of what will people say, especially the people around us, for us to be able to, come to terms with it, come to understand, and make them, even if it's giving some of your services to them for free, even if it's giving some of those products to them for free, so that they know that this girl is serious, this guy is serious, I think I need to patronize her. And even some I think I've explained that in some of my videos as well, that you need the way you portray yourself, they need to see that, and for them to be able to go further with you, and also to help you to move ahead. The next thing that I see, that another mistake that I see that we do as business owners, is that we don't invest in ourselves. We don't invest in ourselves. I've heard this saying a very long time ago, that it is only a fool that will keep on doing the same thing and will be expecting a different result. What does that quote mean? It means you cannot be doing the same thing over and over and over again and be expecting a different result. Because what you need to understand is this: what you know and can apply to your business 10 years ago is different from 5 years ago, and is certainly different from now, and will certainly be different from in 2 years time, in 5 years time, in 10 years time. And in order for you to be able to catch up with the technology, for you to be able to catch up with what is happening out there, you need to keep learning. You need to keep understanding how the market is moving. You need to keep reading about how to grow your business. You need to keep learning about how to make sure that you are utilizing every tool, not every tool well, but every tool according to your own your personality. I've said that before. You need to find the right tool for your own personality, and therefore you need to make sure that that tool, you are utilizing everything that is available. You are making sure that everything that you need, you're understanding, you are increasing your knowledge, you are increasing your expertise. And another thing that I want us to understand, because I don't want to dwell too much on it is essential that the reason why people go to school is to be able to learn how to be better people for themselves, for their community, for their nation as a whole. And therefore the same thing applies to your business. If you are going to move from one level, from the same level you were last year, last month, last week, to another level, it therefore means you are also increasing in knowledge. You're also adding to what you know already. Otherwise, there is no way you would know how do you market to certain people. The way you speak the language of the youth is different from the way you speak the language to women, is different from the way you speak to men. And therefore you need to and these things are changing. The economy is changing. Things are changing every day. And you need to be able to move with the tide. Otherwise, you'll find that what you're doing, what you think you know or you're applying to your business does not apply anymore. And because you're stuck doing the same thing, is not yielding any result to move your business forward. Another mistake that I notice that people make, which is number 6, is that you do not have the end goal in mind. What do I mean by this? You do not have the end goal in mind. If you are going from here to Manchester, I live in the UK. If you're going from here to Manchester, you know Manchester is your end goal. You want to go, and not just going to Manchester, because there's so many cities within Manchester, so many places. So you need to know where in particular in Manchester you're going to. And if you want to get the end goal, you're going to a part of Manchester and you're going there to do this, you need to have a plan. You need to know how you're going to get there. You need to know what it will take for you to get there. A lot of us and a lot of people that want to do business, this is the number one thing that actually gets them stuck. They say to themselves, oh, I just want to start a business. I don't even mind. As long as it's a business and I'm working for myself, the rest, it doesn't matter. It really does matter. Because have you sat down to actually think deeply about what sort of business you want to do? Have you had a thought about what do you want to achieve with that business? Is it just to make you money? What if it doesn't make you happy? What if it doesn't give you the time that you think it will? So you cannot just get up and say, oh, I just want to start a business. It doesn't really matter what business. You need to know what sort of business. You need to know what income that business will generate for you. You need to know what everything that it entails to make sure that you see that business succeeds. And therefore, having the end goal of what that business is going to do for you, it will help you to plan appropriately. It will help you to create all the steps that you need, so that when you come across challenges along the way, you already have foreseen some of these things that will come up. You've already researched, you've already have invested in knowledge to know what it entails for you to run that business. And therefore, you will plan appropriately for that business in order to make sure that you don't fall along the way, you don't get tired along the way. And therefore, it is very, very essential for us to have the end goal of what that business is going to do for you, how it's going to impact on you, how it's going to impact your family, how it's going to impact your friends. Because running a business is not for the faint-hearted. I can tell you from experience. Sometimes you will think it's going to give you time, but sometimes you will not even have time for yourself. I tell you that from experience. You will not have time for yourself, and therefore you have to make sure that you have that tenacity to be able to withstand all the challenges that is going to be thrown your way. All right. And number 8 is that some of us are always chasing after they call it the shiny object syndrome. What's the shiny object syndrome? It's a state of where you start this business and then somebody introduces you to another thing, and then you drop this and then you do the next thing. And then, say for instance, your passion is actually to start a business in fashion accessories, clothes, bags, shoes, and the likes, helping people to dress up and look good. But you notice that when you started, things were not moving as fast and as quickly as you thought. And then somebody comes to you and says, oh, hello, lovely. I've got some beauty products and weight loss products I'm going to introduce to you. And then you can become a network marketer. And then you sell these products, you make this commission. And then you abandon your first passion, the first business you started, because you haven't invested time in it, which is what I'm going to discuss the next one. Then you dump that one then you jump to the health and beauty products, and then you start selling that and making commission, and then you realize, oh, okay, this is not getting me the sort of income I want. And then somebody tells you, oh, there's a Bitcoin business now that everybody's into, and it's going to make you thousands in one day. Then you drop the first one, you drop the second one, you jump onto Bitcoin. That is what they call the shiny object syndrome. You are after the next thing that everyone is saying is making money. A lot of business owners, this is why we do not see traction in our business. This is why a lot of businesses fail and they stop in the first few years. The reason is because we keep going from one business idea to another business idea to another business idea. We're not stable. We're not, we don't stand to make sure that we work on one business and see and make sure that it actually makes us to actually be real entrepreneurs, because we're going from one business idea to another. And therefore we need to understand that having a business of profit, having a business of success, it entails you to work on one thing. You have to make sure that you see it to the very end, because it's very essential, and that we know that when we are going into business in the first place, it's something that gives us passion. It's something that that will make us, whilst we're sleeping, we're dreaming about it, we are strategizing about it, we are talking about it every time. We are into it. Because until you're at that point where you're so into your business idea that other people can just, when they're doing other things, they're helping you look for ways to improve on that thing, because they know you can't stop talking about it. And therefore, once we are able to stay focused on that business idea, we are developing it, finding ways to improve on it, finding ways to talk about it, finding ways to market it, we are able to stay away from every shiny object that comes around us. I remember when we started our business, because we had a shop, we had an estate, we still have an estate agent. So because we have a shop, different people will come into our office with different ideas. They've sold us gold coins. They've said, because they know a lot of people come to us and they want to sell those gold coins. I remember those days, gold coins, and they want you to bring in more people. So people will bring in things to you. People will approach you, especially once they know you are into business. People will bring different ideas. Some people will say, oh, now, now that you starting your business, you earn some money, come and invest in property and all of that. People will bring things to you. It is your priority. It is your main goal as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, to stay focused on that one thing that you have passion for, on that one thing that you believe is your purpose. You can still do other things along the way, but it will not distract you from that one. It will not make you leave that one and then jump into something else. If you're going to be able to, make something worthwhile of your business, you cannot keep going from one business idea to another. And the number 9 mistakes that I see that a lot of people make in their business is comparing yourself to other people. One thing I know is, as human beings, we cannot but do the comparison thing. But what you don't want to do is comparing your first year, your second year of business to someone that has been doing their business for the past 10 years. There's some people actually that started their business last year, and they've done so well for themselves. They've gone further ahead than those that actually started 10 years ago. It depends on the investment of time that you can put into it. It depends on how much time, how much money, because business involves money. You need to invest in it. If you cannot, you either invest time in your business in order for it to yield results, or you invest money in order for it to yield results. There's no two ways. If you don't have the money at present in order to invest in your business, then you need to invest time on it. You need to put in a lot of effort, do a lot of the work yourself to earn money. I see a lot of people that approach us and say, oh, I really want to do business, but I just don't have the money. If you do not have the money, then you've got to have the time. If you don't have time and you don't have money, then there's no business. I'm sorry. That's just the gospel truth. If you don't have time, you don't have money, then you're not ready to actually start a business. So you've got to have one or the other. And therefore, you need to make sure that you do not compare people that they've already invested time. They're investing money, because you make money, then you reinvest, then you make money, you reinvest. That's, I think, even when you see all these millionaires, look at their story. When you read up about them, their autobiography and what they've been doing, you will see how they put in time first, because they did not have investors, they do not have people to give them that money. They do not. If you go to a bank for a loan, a business loan, they will not give you. If you need £100,000 or $100,000, they will need you to put in at least 30%. So there's no one that's going to give you money to invest unless they see your own input. So there must be something of you that also needs to go into that business, because otherwise a lot of people get finances and they squander it, because the passion to want to do that business wasn't even there in the first place. The tenacity to do the business wasn't even there in the first place. And therefore, they cannot understand how to actually manage the money they get. Hence why the bank will want to see your own investment into that business before they can actually approve a loan for you. And therefore, comparing yourself with someone that's invested time and money in their business, and then you are just starting, and then you say, oh, but so person, Mary has done it and she's been succeeding, why can't I do it? And you want to do the business that Mary is doing because you think Mary has succeeded. But what you don't understand is Mary's invested a lot of time, a lot of our money that you might not know, that you might not be aware of, because you haven't spoken to Mary. What does it take to run this business? So therefore, if you do not want to be at a state where you keep comparing yourself to someone that started their business 10 years and you're just starting, you need to let go of that comparison screen. You need to remove it and just focus on your own journey. Everybody's got something that is going to work for them. They've got something that they are cut out for. Not everybody's caught out for everything that is available out there. And you need to know your own strength. You need to know where you're good at. You need to know what makes you tick. And it is what makes you tick, what makes you different, what makes you unique is what you're going to infuse into how you're going to run your own business in order for it to make sure that you succeed in it. And therefore, you forget about, once you're in business, you don't need to worry about everybody else. You don't need to worry about what anyone will say. You don't need to worry about what we people do. It is not for them to decide for you what your journey is going to be like. It is not for people to tell you what they think your journey is going to be like, because a lot of people miss it, because people think, oh my God, you're starting this business, and then they begin to tell you stories about other people that have started and never made it, and then you get discouraged and you give up altogether. Hence why you need to make sure that when you start running this entrepreneurial race, you put a blindfold on, you put your earplugs on, and you only see the end goal that you have already outlined for yourself. That's the only thing that you keep ahead of you. You only put that journey in front of you, and you make sure that you focus on your own journey, you focus on your own path. Let everybody else do what they want. This is the path for you. You've already outlined it. You've already mapped it out, how you're going to go about your business. The times you've already set aside in order to work on your business. You've already determined to make sure that you're also investing in your business. It's very, very important that you keep investing. If you do not if you don't have the money to invest, then read up. There's so much information online, so many ways you can learn things on YouTube that will help you. If you want to build a website and you don't have the money to be able to build a website, you can go online. There's so many free courses that will teach you how to build a website. So many pre-made websites that you can just put Just buy your domain. Some of them will even offer you a domain for free. You get a domain. So many information is out there, so you can not have any excuse why you cannot invest in your business if you want to make sure that you make it at the end of the day. And lastly, the mistake that we are making is that we just chase the money. We are not chasing the dream. We are not chasing purpose. We just chase the money. Money is good, but when you've just started, when you are building a business, you might not get the amount of money you think you will get. And if money has been the focus why you wanted to start that business, and you don't make that amount of money, there is every tendency for you to give up along the way, because you are not making the money that you thought you're going to make. This is what I notice. All right, most of the people that approach me when they come to me for business strategy about how they are going to start their business, what they can do, a lot of them, one thing I know that they are interested in is, okay, your post office business, how much are you making, what's the profit? I'm like, the profit for me hasn't been, if I look at the profit, I will not even be in that business, I'm telling you. But the time that you invest in it, the love that you have for the business, you have to have a business that even when it is not making you money at the onset, you can still go on doing it. You can still invest time in it because you can see the end goal. You know that it fulfills you. So therefore, chasing after money, because if that business does not give you the money or the returns you thought it's going to give you, there is every chance that you're going to dump it and go after the next shiny object, which is what I mentioned earlier. Therefore, you have to make sure that when you're going into business, do not put money at the forefront of why you want to start that business. Because if you put money at the forefront and you put in time in it because you thought this business should be generating me £2,000 every month, and you find out the first month, second month, 6 months, 12 months, it's not even giving you £200, and then you look at it, oh, this has just been a waste of time, and then you let go. But you haven't realized that it might even take you 2 years of investing time in it over and over again, and at the end of the second year you just break through because you found out about ways not to do certain things. You found out about ways to invest in it. You found out about ways to market it. There are more people coming to know about you because you provided value to their life. You've done things free for them, and before you know it, you've invested time in it. 2 years down the line, even though it hasn't made you £200, but you expected 2,000. Second year, you still keep doing it. Before you know it, the business that wasn't generating 200, it starts to generate 5,000, starts to generate 10,000, starts to generate 20,000. So therefore, you have to plan to be in the business for the long game. That's where I was going. You've got to make sure that you plan to be in this business for the long game, because short-term game, you might not, you will definitely give up too early before you start to see the results, before you start to see where this is heading. And I'm just going to round up quickly now on the 10 mistakes that I mentioned that you are probably making in your business that is keeping you stuck and not letting you move in the direction that you thought you want to go. Number one is that you're waiting for everything to be perfect. Do not wait for things to be perfect. Just start where you are. Start with what you have. Start with who you know, your immediate people, and just move on from there and perfect things or get things better as you go along. Number two is that you don't know where your sales are coming from. You're not tracking, you're not assessing, you're not checking to know where are the sales coming from in order for you to be able to multiply those areas to make sure that you are doubling down on the people that are bringing you money, on the channels that are actually bringing you the sales, bringing you the customers, and then make sure you put in more effort in those areas in order for you to make sure that it's yielding more better results. Number 3 is that you're not using the right tools to be able to make sure that you're marketing yourself appropriately. Use the right channels. Some people are good with Twitter. Twitter brings people business. LinkedIn, if you want to market to a lot, even from LinkedIn, people that are also looking for job, they get jobs on LinkedIn. You can even market your business to business. So many areas, so many channels that you can actually utilize to be able to make sure that you're putting your business out there for people to know about you. Number 4 is that you are free to invest in knowledge. You don't want to invest in knowledge, and not having the right knowledge, not having the right information is definitely not going to help your business to move in the right direction, because knowledge is power, information is power, and that is the power that you have to be able to do the things, especially now that online is where the game is at. So you also need to make sure that you're not cutting yourself slack. And number 5 is people are stuck on the fear of what people will say, and therefore they tend not to talk about their business at all, because they don't want people to criticize them. They don't want people to discourage them. They don't want people to talk them down. And it's understandable, because we also fell into that same trap. But you have to overcome it. You have to make sure that you keep doing what you're doing and what you're good at, and before you know it, people will come to you. The ones that you think will criticize you, they'll eventually patronize you and take you for who you are. And number 6 is that people do not have the end goal in mind. The number 6 mistakes is not having the end goal in mind. Number 7 is that you are comparing yourself to others. You keep comparing yourselves to others, and it's not going to help you in the long run, because comparison, it demotivates you. Because when you think you should be further ahead because someone else is further ahead, and then you do not put you tend to be running the race against yourself. You're running against yourself, and you do not think that this is what I need to do in order to move ahead, because you're doing the comparison game every time. And number 8 is that you follow you're stuck into the shiny object syndrome. You fall into the shiny object syndrome. You're always chasing after the next best business that somebody keeps introducing to you, and it takes you off track. You keep getting entrapped into what people say is making money now, and you do not stay focused on your own goal, on your own dream, on your own purpose. And number 9 is you give up. You give up too early when there are challenges. You do not stay the course, because when you think this business should make you a certain amount of money and it's not making that money, or you think this business is going to require you to just spend 2 hours on it a day, but it's taking 6 hours of your time, you give up too early before you actually start to see the results. And number 10 is that you're chasing money instead of chasing or building for the long term. So finally, you need to understand that these 10 mistakes, if you are able to sit down and assess and look at ways by which you can overcome all of these areas we've talked about, it will really help you to begin to put things in focus. So when you see something of any sort of these mistakes, it helps you to retrace your steps. It helps you to adjust yourself to say, oh, I think I'm making this entrepreneurial mistake, and I don't want to fall into this trap. When you see yourself comparing to other people, you say, oh, this is a comparison game I don't want to be in. When you see somebody come to introduce something to you, to say, do you want to join Bitcoin? You want to go into this business of property? You'll be okay. This is the next shiny object syndrome. I don't want to fall into it. So when you know those mistakes, when things happen, it brings them into focus, and you're able to overcome it quicker. because other people are falling into those traps, and they've given you the hotline, which is what I'm giving you today, so you don't fall into the same trap. And I just hope that this has just been a way to just bring to your attention some of the things that, some of the mistakes I've made in the past and I've learned from, and I hope you also learn from those things, and they help you move forward to build a profitable business and to build a business of purpose. If you have any areas that you want me to touch on, you want me to discuss on, any tools you want to learn how to use, if you want to set up your business online, you want to create a website, just send me a message. Send me a message on Facebook, Instagram. Just message me anyhow you think you can reach me. I'm available to guide you. That's my aim, is to help to give you clarity around your business goals in order for you to be able to build a profitable and successful business. So I hope to see you again next week, God willing. And I hope, if there are anything that you want me to come and give to you or to show to you, I'll be happy to do so. All right, let me just say, okay, all right. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so until next time, and I'll see you again. Bye. Thank you.